Dear Diary, would you like to hear about my first kiss? No, not the one from the 3rd grade which I told you about previously. It all started with a seemingly ordinary day at the Daily Planet, where I, Lois Lane, along with my colleague Clark Kent, were busy working under the watchful eye of our editor, Perry White. Little did we know, this day would take a bizarre turn, courtesy of a self-righteous and megalomaniacal scientist and his magnetic telescope. The scientist had grandiose plans to harness his invention to draw comets to Earth, for reasons known only to him, and then inexplicably send them back into the cosmos. As the town gathered to witness his audacious demonstration, calamity struck right from the start. The magnetic telescope, equipped with a colossal U-shaped magnet, was aimed at a comet, with the intention of drawing it closer for observation. But something went horribly wrong, causing the comet to crash into our city, careening through the streets before finally plunging into the nearby ocean. The result was mass casualties. The aftermath of this disaster filled the newspapers the next day, and I couldn't help but wonder about the man behind this reckless experiment. The police were engaged in a heated argument with the deranged scientist by the name of Doctor Dynamo, who remained steadfast in his belief that his scientific pursuits justified the risk to human lives. He displayed a complete disregard for the potential collateral damage, despite the police's assurance that they will stop any attempt to try the experiment again. The scientist refuses to quit, reminding them that any attempt to stop him could prove disastrous.
I'll send it back again into space.
Your tampering with nature endangers thousands of lives.
Yes, and even at the possible cost of those lives, I shall continue my experiment.
I warn you, Professor. We're prepared to stop you.
And I warn you, sir, any interference may prove disastrous.
He runs into his telescope room and shuts the door before the police can stop him, and begins his experiment again. The police try to stop him from activating the machine, but he does so anyway. When the cops can't get the professor to turn it off, they begin to destroy the machine by hacking wires and destroying important structures. By doing so, they had doomed Metropolis, because now a green comet is hurtling towards Earth, spitting out huge fireballs causing destruction. From my vantage point, I watched the calamity unfold, knowing I needed to act. As the scientist fled the scene and the police pursued him, I called the Daily Planet from the scientist's building, reporting to the chief and, better yet, Clark, of the impending disaster.
Look, Chief, the panic's on. The thing's gone haywire.
However, I soon found myself trapped as the building crumbled around me.
Lois!
By sheer luck, Superman, who happened to be nearby, sprang into action. With superhuman strength, he rescued me from the rubble of comet shards and immediately turned his attention to the impending threat. I went to the telescope to see how I can help Superman in the city. Superman sped toward the green comet and striking it full force, but he bounces off. Shockingly, he fails. As I observed many times before, Superman is not all-powerful. He gets knocked down, hurt, and overwhelmed from time to time. I had not thought that a piece of green rock would be a challenge to Superman, but I naturally assumed that Superman would just push the green comet back into space like we all expect, my man of steel, to do. As Superman lay unconscious, more comet shards crush buildings, cars, and trains across the town. When he finally awoke, he made a valiant attempt to stop the green comet, but the outcome remained grim, falling into the telescope's generator room. Inside the observatory of the scientist, Superman and I made a decision that would prove pivotal. We resolved to use the magnetic telescope to repel the comet before it caused further destruction. Superman noticed a metal bar in the generator and ingeniously improvised a solution. He wound some cable around the rod and pulls, set the generator into motion, and completed the circuit by grabbing both ends of the cut wire and allowing the electric current to run through his chest from arm to arm. Superman takes the full force of the machine's power as electricity surges through him. It was a risky gambit, but it was our best hope. I flipped the switch and set the machine to reverse. The giant horseshoe-shaped magnet unleashed a powerful blast, repelling the comet back into the vastness of space. Superman and I must say, make a great team, with Superman's might and my quick thinking ensuring the green comet's departure. In the euphoria of the moment, I had the urge to kiss Superman, which I did. I savored every moment from that first kiss in the dimly lit room, feeling his steely muscles. However, it just so happened that the man with the steely muscle and silhouette of Superman happened to be Clark. What an unforced error on my part. Silly me. As for the scientist, his actions illustrates why it is so vital to our planet's security that all science projects, experiments, research labs, AI stealth research companies be tightly controlled and transparent to all Earth citizens. While he may have had noble intentions, his inability to recognize the limits of his experiments plunged the world into chaos. Even after his machine was destroyed, the repercussions of his actions continued to reverberate across our planet. Until the next kiss, my dear diary. Yours, Lois Lane.